Hello there. Today, while the world falls apart, we are going to come into our After Effects timelines to create this outstanding effect.
Kinetic type series.
So, what we have here is just a beautiful glyph. This is an A and is set in Yink. So, the next thing is we come here to the window, Effects and Presets panel, and we are looking here for the CC Pixel Poly. Okay, so this is a step-by-step tutorial for those of you wondering if I'm going to go step-by-step. Yes, step-by-step. So we apply that to this beautiful layer here, and if we go to the beginning and we hit the spacebar to play our animation, this is just ridiculous. So this is the way it all started. I was just messing around with different effects and this came out. So I was like, okay, what the can I do with this effect? So let's go and tweak this so that this looks just like this beautiful thing here. So sometimes you need to see the potential in something and then dig real deep. Here in the pixel poly controls of this effect, we have one thing that we want to get rid right away is the gravity. So I'm going to erase this value here and set it to 0 in gravity. So now this is more like 0 gravity, obviously, and that's a start. So then in force, I think I'm going to go for 1, let's say, and this is already something interesting because as you see, kind of the shape of the letter is kind of you can see through this the shape of the letter, which is something good. So then I think I need these awful triangles to be just very small. So let's see what can I do to accomplish that. I think here in grid spacing, if we put that to, for example, 2, okay, now we are talking. This is something really interesting. And maybe here in the object, which is like what these particles are made from, maybe I'm going to say that this should be a square. Okay, so this is starting to be really nice. So, and the next thing, I wanted to give it like this sense that something is really interacting with this effect. So if you see here, we have a force center. You see that it's right there. So what happens if I move it around? Okay, this is really cool. Okay, the thing is that I was like, okay, so this move things around, and then the force, if I put this again into something like 25, the force is what really separates the particles. So what could happen if this cool effect, it seems like it was made in real time and you can see like the controller. So that's what all this is about. So I'm going to create another layer here with just a circle, a shape layer, and this one is going to be my controller. Okay, I'm going to put the anchor point in the middle just by clicking twice here while holding on control. Now this is going to be my control. Okay, so then it's going to be a matter of, if I connect like this force center value to the position here, you can just select the layer and click P for position. Then again, if I click on Alt or Option on a Mac here on force center, okay, and I grab this little thing to connect it to the position of the other layer, that means that if I move this layer, the effect is going to be controlled by that layer here. So let's move things around, and now this is looking very cool because it seems like I'm controlling the effect just by moving this layer, which is not the case, but visually it is what's happening here. So I'm going to put or change the stroke thickness to something like, let's say 8. Let's see how that looks. Okay, this is cool. And then I think I'm going to connect the force to the scale, okay, here. So whenever I change the scale of this layer that is going to look like the controller, the effect is going to be directly affected in real time. So again, you hold on Alt or Option on a Mac, you click on Force to open the expressions panel, and then it is a matter of just clicking here and dragging it into the scale of the other layer. So now I'm going to start my animation, and you see that now it's really crazy because this is at 100%. So I'm going to go to the beginning, and here it is going to be just 5%, for example, something like that. And because this is so little, I think I'm going to make it bigger. So I go to the contents here, the controls of the tape layer, and I'm going to increase it like a lot, something like that. Can work for me, so that's cool. I have this keyframe here that controls like how much of the effect is going to be applied, and then I'm going to create a keyframe also for the position. So that's that. This even can be like 1%, so that is really little difference. And then it is a matter of going forward, and here for example is like 12, and then it's going to be moving to another place like here. So you see how this started, okay? Something like that. So that was the technique right there, the basics, but some things were set differently in the original composition that I used to create this. And one of the things is that, for example, the force is linked to a null object, and that null object having this slider control, also like this shape layer that is the controller, to maintain the thickness of the stroke when the layer is scaled up. I have this expression here that maintains like the thickness of the outline. You are going to have this expression in the description, and then it is a matter of really like the timing of the animation to be really spot on to take advantage of this cool effect. You are going to have a link here in the description to my Buy Me a Coffee webpage, where you can find different After Effects projects, and I would really appreciate if you fancy buying some of these, or one, or you have even some of them are going to be free, like this one here, because this is going to help me continuing this fantastic journey that is learning together. So that was that. Also give me a follow if you want in my Instagram account, and yeah, see you in the next one.
Kinetic Type Series.